Hey, how are you guys? This could be your very last formal homework assignment of your 6th grade language arts year, as long as everybody does it tonight. So encourage your classmates, make sure you get it done, but here it is. Tonight we're going to be talking about diagramming gerunds. This will also be your last diagramming lesson, although we might get into infinitives and participles in class one day if we have some extra time. Please remember, where did my mouse go? I can't find my mouse, I'll have to find it later, that a gerund is a verb disguised as a noun. So just to start you off, oh, and you're not going to be able to see this, so let me turn myself off. Did it do that? Oh, now I should be hidden. Miss Wormwood, I'm not going to learn this material unless you make it enthralling. I see. And what will you do for the rest of your life doesn't entertain you every minute? Well, or what? You think I'll live someplace that doesn't get cable? So a flip video is not as great as cable, but it's better than a worksheet, right? All right, so you will be creating a 3-flap horizontal foldable for this. Please label it like this one on the slide before you go on with the lesson, so you might need to hit pause right now. If you look, you've got gerunds down the side. You would be cutting your flaps here, and then you have as a subject, as a direct object, and as an object of a preposition. The inside should look like this. This is where you're going to write your sentence, just written out, and this is where you're going to diagram it. So as you can see, you're not going to do a whole lot of writing here. You're only going to be writing one sentence and one diagram. So whatever you do should be nice and neat, right? Yes, nice and neat is good today. All right, so you don't have to write anything on this page. Oh, I'm just going to turn myself back off. There we go. What is a gerund? A gerund is a verb form that ends in ing and is used in a sentence as a noun. Now this is important. Remember, don't get a gerund mixed up with a participle. That's also a verb that ends in ing, but it functions as an adjective. All right, I'm not going to put any participles in these sentences to start with to try not to confuse you. A gerund can be anything a noun can be, including a subject complement, a direct object, an indirect object, or an object of a preposition. And a gerund phrase begins with a gerund and continues on into a phrase. So that's what a gerund is. You've learned this, you've learned to identify them, you're great with gerunds, and now you're just going to learn to diagram them. Examples of gerunds. Swimming is a wonderful sport. In this case, the gerund is acting as a noun. Example number 2. The report was written about skiing. About is your preposition. Skiing is your object with the preposition. This gerund is acting as an object of a preposition. Last but not least, good players avoid running with the ball. In this case, running with the ball is an entire gerund phrase functioning as a direct object. What do good players avoid? Running with the ball. None of this has to be written down. All right, so diagramming gerunds. You gotta learn to draw this little stilt guy. I think he's kind of cute. He's just like the little half of a guy with no head. Think about him as the headless gerund. Sometimes you draw a step line like this. You're going to see some examples of a different line that you draw. As long as you kind of curve your gerund over the steps, you're going to be fine, and you'll see what that looks like in a minute. You diagram any objects, complements, and modifiers of the gerund phrase, adding them to the step line. So this just becomes a whole nother sentence or a whole nother phrase line. You'll see what I mean. You don't have to write any of this down yet. Aren't you happy about that? All right, now you're going to start writing stuff down. In your top flap, I want you to write, working hard can be profitable. This, then, is how you would diagram it. Working hard is your gerund phrase. It is functioning as the noun in this sentence. It is a phrase that's made up of a gerund and made up of an adverb that describes, or an adjective that describes a gerund. So we've got working, and then hard modifies it. Can be is your predicate, and profitable. Can be is a linking verb, therefore profitable is a subject complement, so you have to have your line drawn back like that. So in your notes on the top level, you should have this written under the sentence and this written by the diagram. Do that now if you don't have it done. All right, this is a gerund phrase acting as a direct object. So you're going to look at that middle flap right now. In that middle flap, and I don't know who came up with this name, no clue whatsoever. See, I'll even show my face because it was in disbelief that I saw this, but you're going to write this. Terminetta, I think that's how you say it, hates eating broccoli. In this case, eating broccoli is a gerund phrase that is acting as a direct object. So Chairmanita hates, what does she hate? Eating broccoli. In this case, eating broccoli, what does she hate? Eating broccoli. So broccoli would actually be as a direct object for eating. So you've got two of them, but you put this one in a little tree because it is a gerund phrase. You should write this sentence on the sentence side and this diagram on the diagram side. Pause if you need to. All right, last but not least, we've got a gerund phrase acting as an object of a preposition with another just absolutely phenomenal name, Wolfson. I've never taught a Wolfson, maybe I will one day. The sentence is, Wolfson wrote a book about playing basketball. At least he has some decent interests. Playing basketball is your gerund phrase. It's made up of the gerund and the object of the gerund. And it is a object of a preposition. Could not think of what that word was for a minute. So you just diagram the rest of the sentence normally. Wolfson is your subject. Wrote is your predicate. A modifies book. And about playing basketball tells us which book he wrote. So it's an adjective phrase. You've got about, which is your preposition. And then you've got your line that shows your object of your preposition. But since it's a gerund, you have to make your little half guy and then make your gerund line. And I told you the line would look different. I'll accept either way. You can do that nice little L thing, or you can just do that. Either one is fine. So you should write this sentence under the sentence part of your notes, and then you should write this diagram on the diagram side. Make sense? I'm going to hide myself again. All right, moving right along. Oh, brain break. Riddle me this. Which word is the odd one out? Stun, ton, evil, letter, mood, bad, snap, or straw? We'll talk about it in class tomorrow. All right, this is now what the inside of your notes should look like when you're done with this video. Sentence, diagram. I use a little L thing. You could do the other one. I'm good either way. Just notice that it goes around it. Sentence, diagram, sentence, diagram. That's it. Not hard notes today. Now I do want you to take a minute and do an I try. So go grab a separate sheet of paper, or you can work in your notebook if you brought it home. I don't care which. I will possibly be looking at these tomorrow. And I want you to take a minute and I want you to try diagramming these sentences. They all have gerunds in them. You know, just to help you out, man will like golfing. How is that gerund functioning? Golfing is your gerund. It's functioning as your direct object. Look back at your direct object notes and diagram it correctly. Learning the violin requires practice. Your gerund phrase is learning the violin. All right. And then your predicate, and what does it require practice? Your direct object. Give it a shot, pause, see what you can do. When you're ready, we'll look at the answers. All right, I'm guessing you're ready, and here are your answers. All right, and if I made a mistake, you can let me know. Here it is acting as a direct object. Here it is a gerund phrase acting as a subject. Here is simply a gerund acting as a subject. And here is a gerund acting as an object of a preposition. That's it. That is your last flip video of the year, hopefully. I hope you guys took good notes. I'm looking forward to seeing them tomorrow, and we will be doing some practice on your whiteboards and in your notebooks tomorrow in class. Have a great night, and we're out.